When I think about leaving a legacy, there's one word that pops into my head in bold letters: family. And tonight, we're going to be watching an interview of a man that knows all about leaving a legacy and family. This is an interview on the Pat McAfee Show of Los Angeles Lakers superstar LeBron James. Let's check out what this living legend has to say.
Okay, so you and Michael at a good spot.
Who, me and Michael?
Jordan?
Yeah, we're in a good spot. We don't talk.
Why not, you think?
Because I'm still playing. I think I'm still playing. I'm still focused on my craft right now.
When you're done, you think you two will be the only two that can have a conversation?
I would hope so. You know, the funny thing is, me and Kobe, besides our, the late great Kobe, obviously, me and Kobe never had a real relationship either. Until we was on the Olympic team. We had a great relationship there. Olympic team 8, Olympic team 12. But it was always competitive between us. We were always like, I was on the East Coast, he was on the West Coast, and it was like, even though we never, I fucked up one time in 09 and didn't beat Orlando, and I think it was 09, didn't beat Orlando and didn't get him an opportunity to play him in the finals. But like, and until I became a Laker and then he retired, that's when our relationship like became really, really good.
Yeah. Family.
He like welcomed me, called me like, bro, anything you need in LA, like, I got you. You're a Laker now. You family, and we would have multiple conversations. He was obviously, you saw him coming to a lot of games and things of that nature. And when I passed him in the scoring record in Philly, I think he had a tweet out there like, keep on going, like keep transcending the game, keep going, like, and that shit like meant so much to me. So like, I think it's because I'm still playing, and MJ's, we all know MJ. Even if you don't know him personally, he's one of the most ruthless competitors there is. And till I'm done, and he doesn't have to look at me run up and down wearing the number 23, and every time my name is mentioned with his, he's like, I don't want to fucking talk to you.
Yeah, Hold up. So, LeBron James is talking about his relationship with Kobe. You hear how it got, better, or really it started once he became a Laker, which is understandable. If you're not on the same team and things of that nature, your competition. And, once he became a Laker, he became family to Kobe. R.I.P. Kobe. So, before we go on, I gotta ask. He's talking about Michael Jordan. We done spoke about Kobe. And now, LeBron James. In the comments, who do you hold as the GOAT between the three? I know you might start naming other people. No, let's limit it to the three. Just comment that player's name in the comment section. Is it Kobe? Is it LeBron? Or is it Michael Jordan? Let's continue the interview.
Yeah, I'm on a golf course.
Don't talk to me right now. I'm on the back nine. Do not call me.
It was great to see y'all at the top 75.
Oh yeah, that was dope. That was dope. Yeah, that's straight respect, admiration, and just like, me for sure. I mean, shit. Like I said, I wear 23 because of MJ. And that shit, the inspiration that he gave me as a kid in Akron, Ohio, that don't have much inspiration in your hometown. You look at something. It got to be somebody in sports, somebody in music, somebody on the TV screen. So like Will Smith on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Michael Jordan playing for the Bulls, Jay-Z, Biggie, and Tupac. That was like, that was my inspirations. You know what I'm saying? Like I needed that because I didn't have like
Lang.
Yeah, couldn't do fucking Jerome Lang. He's like, they know me and shit. So like, you know what I'm saying?
Kind of on that note, Bronny, your son, he obviously had that inspiration in the home, and you talked about it since years ago, wanting to play long enough to play with your son. So you obviously visualized that. How was the real moment with that happening? Because I know me seeing it, seeing the Griffeys there, seeing it, like that was just an unbelievable moment. So what was that like for you, really actually being in it?
Like, seeing that pop fly head towards King Griffey Sr. and then see Junior over there right before the ball got to his glove and he snatched it out the air and run back to the dugout like laughing at his pops. Like, that was a cool ass moment. And And for that moment, that that home opener versus Minnesota, and then just over there and see Griffey Jr., man, the kid, and seeing his pops over there, and us getting that picture at half court, and then us going out on the floor and having that moment. Physically, I wasn't even there. I wasn't even there.
You're floating.
I'm floating, and I can I can only imagine where Bronny was. I don't know. We haven't even talked about it yet. At some point, we will, but I wasn't even there. Like I might have been in the rafters. I might have been at home. My body may have been at home watching the game, watching the moment. I completely was not there, and but damn, that was an unbelievable moment, man.
Look at that.
For me to be able to like have that dream, be able to speak it into existence, for it to come to fruition, for my mom and my wife and my daughter and my youngest son to be there, it was like, I started thinking about everything from what the hell he went through not less than a year before with his
he almost died.
His cardiac arrest, man.
That came out of nowhere, seemingly.
That came out of nowhere. It was a birth defect that quite honestly, if he never played sports or he never started to become, strong and run fast and all those stuff, we probably would never have to worry about it. But as he got stronger and things of that nature, it was just something inside his heart that, was just pounding at his heart and pounding at his lungs that, unfortunately, we had the incident. And thankfully, a lot of these kids we've been seeing a lot lately in sports, not only in basketball, but in football.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we was able to catch it. And to all the families out there that haven't had the opportunity to catch their kids before it gets to the point where they're not here anymore. To see that happen to Bronny and for him to be able to play that same year after that happened, at USC, and then less than a year later be drafted by the Lakers, and then in that fall we go out there together. So that's why I wasn't there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We walked in together, but I was not there.
That's a dad moment. That's really cool.
Yeah,
People forget, you're only one name now, LeBron, but you're still a human too. And I'm seeing,
for sure.
Your baby boy.
Yeah.
Get a chance to experience his dream. Then obviously that led to the thing with Stephen A. talking about him.
Let's pause for a minute and acknowledge how dope that is to be a father and have your son come into the league and play on the same team. I know oftentimes people, want their son to come and take over the business, that want their sons to follow in their footsteps and take over their companies and things like that. Typically, this type of thing doesn't happen when it comes to sports. But LeBron James and his son, Bronny, they are an exception to the sport. And again, how awesome is that for you to be a father? And I'm a father, so I can relate. I would want my sons to do well, and if they followed in my footsteps, or if they, turned out to be exactly how I envisioned them and molded them, as LeBron James said he did with his son. Oh my God, that is a blessing. That's awesome. I can only imagine how happy LeBron is to even have this opportunity or have this to be happening now. That is awesome. And we just heard about, his son could have possibly had died. He could have died because a heart defect. And now you're watching him play NBA basketball with his dad. Man, that's a blessing. That's a blessing, and that's awesome. And I can imagine how LeBron feels as a dad. That's pretty awesome. Let's keep it going.
I think that's a pressure that a second generation star has on him.
Yeah, for
His
sure.
whole life he's had that. It feels like he is very I mean, he's like a 55-year-old, it looks like, the way he kind of handles it all. And I think you've even said that as well.
Yeah.
But how about his development? We had Rich Paul on the day after the draft.
Yeah,
man.
Because there was a bunch of rumors about Rich Paul was telling teams, hey, you draft him, we'll send him to Australia. Like, there's a lot of those types of things happening. Luckily, the Suns were involved. There was a chance they could get you, but he ends up with the Lakers with you.
Yeah.
And obviously, it's a whole storm. Like, LeBron James is bullying, blah, blah, blah. Everything, the way it always goes.
Of course.
This guy's not good enough. This guy's not this. And he does start out a little bit rough, NBA was. But now, I mean, he just dropped 39 last night in the G League. I think he had like a double-double or something. He had his best game in the NBA last week. He's obviously getting better and better. You have to be loving every moment. And how proud of Bronny are you for what he's going through? And
listen, for me as a dad, it doesn't matter if he never scores, ever. For me as a dad, I'm just super proud of him, period, as a young man. For me, as a mentor and as a teammate of his, and that wants to see him thrive because I've seen the work he's put into the game, I am super proud of his development to where he is now. From the moment that, he was drafted in June of 2025 to us being now in March of 2026, his development is skyrocketed, and I just think I had a good friend of mine, who went through a cardiac arrest as well. And he told me that, it took him, and he played basketball as well. And back then when it happened to him in the early 2000s, they wasn't with going back to performing. It was like, if it happened, it's over with.
Well, let's not roll the dice.
Yeah, we're not rolling the dice. There was not enough data on it. It's like, you have a cardiac arrest, it is over. We don't want this on our resume. They was not going back to perform the play. And he told me, he was like, man, I'm gonna be honest, it took me about 2.5 years to finally get back to just normalcy. Like my body, me about 2.5 years to finally get back to just normalcy. Like my body, my mind. And, he said when it happened to me, I was 23 years old. Bronny was 19 years old, and he's like, it's going to take a little time. And I reason with that. But also, he's doing things right now less than 2 years.
Yeah.
And it's because of his determination and his will to want to get better and his will to, like, I don't really care what y'all saying. I hear it. He did an article the other day. He was like, yeah, I hear the noise. I use that as motivation, but I also know what I'm capable of. And I've always told my kids, like all of them, they all play sports. 2 basketball players. My youngest son going to Arizona on a full ride. My daughter's
what is he, 7 foot tall, by the way? That came out of nowhere. Bryce, right?
Yeah.
He popped up out of nowhere. Because we follow your family on the internet, obviously. We see it all. And it's like Bronny, okay, and then Lil Bryce. Lil Bryce with the glasses.
Right, exactly.
And then all of a sudden, one video popped up of an offseason, and Bryce.
And Bryce taller than Bronny.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
So he on his way to Arizona. My daughter's, she's playing 12 and under volleyball. She just turned 10. So, like, and I just tell them, like, it doesn't matter about the noise. That's going to happen. It's only about, like, if you love it, go out and practice. If you think you want to, if you fall in love with it, you only can fall in love with the process. Don't worry about the outcome. Fall in love with the process, and that shit will take care of itself. So, super proud of Bronny, man. I know very long-winded when you talk about the kids. Playing 12 and under volleyball. She just turned 10. So, like, and I just tell them, like, it doesn't matter about the noise. That's going to happen. It's only about, like, if you love it, go out and practice. If you think you want to, if you fall in love with it, you only can fall in love with the process. Don't worry about the outcome. Fall in love with the process, and that shit will take care of itself. So, super proud of Bronny, man. I know very long-winded when you talk about the kids. I just start thinking about them, but super proud of his game and where he is today. Starting off the G League season with, like, just trying to figure it out, and now, shit, like you said last night, 39. And more than anything, when I talked to him, he was more pissed off at the technical free throw that he missed more than anything. Ooh. He's like, I could have had a 40 burger. He said, I could have had a 40 ball and I missed that damn technical free throw. So, man, the kid is he's awesome.
He's been fun to watch.
Yeah.
It is, and the story has gotten so loud. And I think that's why, listening to you talk and you say you get long-winded about the kid, it's like, well, that's why everything happened. That happened a couple weeks ago. But, like, you playing with him, obviously was a dream. You said that years ago. Bryce now, though, I mean,
very possible.
That is.
Oh, don't do that to me.
Yeah,
oh, my
yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
And you said you're 215, nowhere near 280. You're
exactly.
the best shape you've been in. that conversation's loud about now, about how many more does LeBron James have. I think fans, I think the league, I bet you Adam Silver is wondering the same exact thing because of what you've done for the league, for how long you've done it. That convo pops up every year. Is it for you too, or is it just for outside people?
No, it's popping up more and more every year because obviously I know I'm on the other side of the hill than the previous side, you know, so I've done this for a long time, and then obviously I know it start like, okay, now you get to the top of that roller coaster, and it's like, okay, because obviously I know I'm on the other side of the thing. He's like, I could have had a 40 burger. He said I could have had a 40 ball.
That conversation's loud about now, about how many more does LeBron James have. I think fans, I think the league, I bet you Adam Silver is wondering the same exact thing because of what you've done for the league, for how long you've done it. That convo pops up every year. Is it for you too, or is it just for outside people?
No, it's popping up more and more every year because obviously I know I'm on the other side of the hill than the previous side, you know, so I've done this for a long time, and then obviously I know it start like, okay, now you get to the top of that roller coaster, and it's like, okay, when is this damn roller coaster going to go down?
Kennywood,
You know, like, so I understand that. So I don't know, man. It's all about, for real, for me, it's my mind. If I could continue to, I am all about the process. Mindset. Like, I am all about the process, and if it gets to the point where I don't feel like showing up to the arena 5 hours in advance, or I don't feel like training, or I don't feel like studying the scout sheet of guys. Like, if it gets to that point, like, I know, like, you know what, Bron, it's a wrap.
As you guys can see, LeBron James is a proud and happy father. He's proud of his kids, their accolades, and their determination, how they're developing. He's proud of his legacy, which is his family. We also heard him speak a little bit about retirement, and it's mainly a mindset thing when he might retire. But as of right now, LeBron James is doing an awesome job, and he has a awesome family, and he's a great father. So back to the conversation of legacy and family. To leave a legacy, you have to make sure that you pour into your family so that legacy can be great. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.